Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Raw and Wild Hearts podcast. I am your host and guide, Lori Rising, and welcome to today's episode, Channeling Messages with Eclipse Power. Yes, we are in the orb of the total lunar blood moon eclipse in Taurus. Ooh, the energy has been building. Am I right? Am I right? Yeah, I had our ceremony in the Wild Heart Ones membership community last night and the bonus of the Awaken Your Life Force digital course. It was magic. We were working with the power of the astrological date of Sowin, our ancestral connection and guidance, and the history-making nodal axis of our eclipse seasons right now, all the way up until October 28th of 2023. Yep, we have another year of this beauty. And I say beauty because this is how we go quantum. Having a nodal axis like this at this time is absolutely pivotal. It's potent and it takes us to where we're ready to go, where our thinking minds may have been resisting. That is the magic of an eclipse, right? It brings to the surface that which we are ready to move through, but we have been resisting. Okay, so much to talk about here. This blood moon eclipse is conjunct Uranus. And I feel like Uranus is the star assister here, right? I used to play basketball, and an assist is really when you can read the room, right? You see what's happening and what's about to be available. And so you make the move and get the ball to who is going to be in that place to make the score. I used to be a pretty dang good assister, and that is maybe why I am identifying so hardcore with Uranus. Uranus is coming in hot because it's time for quantum shifts. If we stay in the linear trajectory and process that we've learned in these systems of disempowerment and tension and resistance, it's going to take generations. But in comes Uranus to make that shit happen, right? It's the unexpected. It's the quick release. It's the lightning bolt of surges and changes and shifts in our world. And y'all, let me tell you, for 2.5 years, you have been building your foundation, your resiliency, your adaptability, your light fortress. And I'm using the word fortress very intentionally here because we are at an absolute crucial moment where we burn the bridges of those that are impeding our evolution. It does not mean that those bridges cannot be rebuilt. I know that was a double negative, but it worked, right? If those people are meant to stay in your life, give each other the space and energy to evolve, to go higher, to meet in new frequencies, and build those bridges new. Build them from a place of strength in a new foundation from each of you. So remember that right now, as you're having your Sowin and eclipse moment. What is a Sowin and eclipse moment? It's what is no longer working in your life. It can come as a crisis, a trauma, a disruption. It can feel like anxiety, stress, tension, resistance. So what's building in you that may be playing on a loop? If you find yourself in this same energy day after day, in this disconnect and imbalance, that is not working in your life. That is information. That is a gift for deep pivots and changes. What needs to die off? Because remember, in every death, there is a simultaneous rebirth. We are here to change and evolve. Everyone else is here to change and evolve. And we all have free will. We all have specific journeys to move through. And some of us will be going slower than others. Some of us will continue the karmic loops and wounds and lineage traumas through lifetimes. And some of us are here to heal them. Yes. If you have been a longtime listener of mine, you know what I'm about to say, that we are here to master the light. We are here to change, hold, and upgrade the energy grids, the light grids, the frequency, and the magnetic field of this planet. We are here to embody our ascension, to bring heaven on earth, to live as galactic citizens. It's just such an exciting time to be here, to be ushering in the age of Aquarius, to be co-creating with our cosmic guidance, the planets, the energies, the nature around us, our non-physical support team. And that is why it is absolutely go time right now. Alignment is your superpower, and it comes from states of ease and flow and light body activation. So if you were going to consider anything your most important job right now, it absolutely is your ability to get into alignment and hold that energy. Everything in your life will absolutely expand from that place. I pinky swear promise. So I have had some incredible messages channeled through in this time, especially while holding the sacred space of my ancestors during this time of Sowin and the veils being even thinner than they already are. It has been special and it has been profound in my world as I have made a big physical transition myself out of van life and onto the land that I am meant to steward at this time and my new home that sits on that land. It's been a really incredible transition into what security is for me and what feels good and how it is unfolding at this time. This, y'all, is a big message coming through today. Honestly, I'm going to say right now, I'm probably sharing the most important channeled message that I've ever received in this podcast. So stay tuned. And if you're new to the podcast, welcome. Wonderful place to start. We like to go big here, but do make sure to check out my rich library of episodes because they are absolutely timeless and fully supportive in this unfolding journey and in this death and rebirth into the new earth systems of abundance, benevolence, and love frequency. If you'd like to know more about me and the programs that I offer, definitely head on over to my hub, my website, therawandwildhearts.com. I've got freebies, I've got guided meditations, I've got my signature online course. I have an advanced and evolutionary in-person retreat coming up in Mexico at the end of January. Oh, I've gotten the message about this, and it is going to be life-changing in the Uranus kind of way. So let me know if you have any questions. And if you get some value out of this episode, some support, definitely share it with your friends and family. Tag me on Instagram. Let people know what's going down, the 411 over here in the Wild Heart Revolution, or give us a beautiful star rating and review on Apple Podcasts. Every action you take directly supports and increases my ability to continue this soul's mission in destroying this culture of fear and accelerating your divinity and your majesty and your birthright of joy and ease in this human unfolding. So let's talk a little bit about the intermingling of energies that are going down right now. Scorpio and Taurus are the nodal axis, the eclipses that we are now feeling potently. Scorpio is the underbelly. It's the secrets, it's the deception, it's the lies, and it contributes to the illusion of control in this culture. It's also sensuality, passion, and sexuality. Taurus is all about security, resources, stability, simplicity, and beauty. So when we get into the high expression of Taurus and Scorpio in how they are assisting us right now at this time in the potent eclipse energy, Scorpio is bringing up all of the deception that we've been living under, all of those systems that have been siphoning our power with manipulation, sensationalism, and greed. There's always a hidden agenda over what we are being told and what's being shared with us. That's the low expression of the secrets and lies. And the high expression is that shit getting dug up, right? It is coming to the surface. So it's like I see these two energies kind of hand in hand with each other. We get the shock with Scorpio. And when we drop into our high expression of Taurus, we get the support or the soothe or the answers, the innate truth that's in ourselves, right? It's the truth meter that comes out when we connect with who we are at our core, which is energy, frequency, and nature. And then we're not available to be deceived again. And when enough of us move through these cycles of exposure, understanding, and innate truth that moves us into a state of healing, we no longer are available for that energy. They no longer get our belief, and everything in our lives and in our realities comes down to that. It comes down to our deep cellular beliefs, not just what we say on the surface, not what we tell ourselves that we want to believe. It's the unshakable truth and knowingness coming from every ounce of our being. That is when we are not available for any other energy. And that is when the power that those systems or people or experiences once had over us has completely come back to us. Okay, so you feeling me on the importance of this nodal axis? This is where history is being made. Hands down, no joke. And the more that we participate, do the healing work, and move ourselves from density to light, the quicker those BS systems crumble. And we rebuild from love, baby love. Yes, it's true. And I know in my cells that it is absolutely happening. We wouldn't be exposing all of the underbelly without all of the light that is pouring onto the planet, into us, and out into the collective. Okay, and we already talked about how eclipses are there to override that illusion of control that we work so hard to hold on to that actually creates dis-ease, discontentment, and resistance and blockages in our personal lives and in the collective. And Uranus comes in with that beautiful, unexpected energy release, changes, shifts. And then we do have a lot of fixed energy right now. It's important to be aware of. I always say this when I have my sessions and readings with people with dominant fixed energy in their natal charts. They spend most of the time butting me. It's always but. And so they're holding the frequency of defensiveness instead of being in a place of curiosity and observation and receptivity for the messages coming in. And that's why I always tell them, like, come back, watch it again, feel it again, hear it again, especially when I'm not on the other end, because then it opens up the senses in a way that they might not be moving through the world or interacting with humans from. So we do need to look at this because fixed energy is slow to change. And the gift of the slow to change fixed energy that we're feeling right now is that it offers a level of discomfort, aka a crisis or disruption or trauma or wound surfacing, that it becomes our Sowin moment or our eclipse moment, that something needs to change. We get to that point. Now, of course, it feels a lot better when we hear the messages from the universe because we're always getting those messages sent to us in co-creation of choosing something new, coming from our creation energy, believing in the abundance all around us instead of holding on to something that has been unsupportive and imbalanced, but holding on to it out of perceived security or lack or scarcity. That's when we will get pushed into that crisis or disruption because the universe is going to help out in some way, but it can be a lot more uncomfortable when we push it to the brink. And then I also wanted to talk about the red aura that is everywhere right now. Of course, it's harvest season, and that is why we see so much red, right? We are harvesting the bounty. We are in gratitude and appreciation, right? We're connecting with the ancestors and the wisdom of what comes through harvest in our physicality and in our energy. And so Mars has been extra potent and extra red. The sunsets have had a beautiful red aura and hue to them. And then we've got the blood moon Taurus lunar eclipse. And red is the root. Red is the root. This, my friends, is the missing link. Our culture, our narrative, our programming has completely negated looking at the root, getting to the root, transforming the root. We've always looked at the surface and taken the quick fix and been in immediate gratification and sensationalism that's going to sell us something, keep us disempowered, and make somebody a quick buck. So the root is where the deep change and transformation happens for good. It's where the healing lies. It's also where the higher states of consciousness and evolution reawaken. So I just want you to pay attention to what's the root, what's underneath, right? What's on top of the disruption or the crisis is typically a learned ego response or need for external validation. So use your superpowers that you have been building in the last 2.5 years and allow the human condition to unfold. Get out of the construct of time and let the journey and the lesson and the truth of what's underneath come to the surface so that you can be in the transcendent states of healing immediately, rather than going through the defensiveness and the accumulation of more wounds and traumas that you're going to have to come back and resurface and work through again. Like literally moving into the ease and the unfolding journey and the patience and the present moment takes us so much further and faster in the long run. And now I want to get to this Taurus energy where I got a very divine message and a Uranus epiphany, an aha, an enlightenment. That's what happens in this higher guidance of Uranus energy. So Taurus is about security and resources. And if you've been listening to astrology, you know that many astrologers have been talking about how money's going to look different. And I think for a lot of us, we've equated that with a different form of currency. The message that I got is that we are now getting to the root of what resources mean to us, what they actually are, where they come from, and how we relate to them. What our belief system is in relation to how we feel secure, and how the resources that provide some of that security may be much different than where we have been placing our attention thus far. This is the message that feels really important because this is where we reactivate and reawaken all of the power that we came in with that has continually been assaulted without fail and without stop by the absorption of the dominant energy for lifetimes. So the old world is, well, we can say this is still happening now, but I'm referencing this as how it's been in our old systems and beliefs and where we're going in our new beliefs and new earth rebuild from light, right? Instead of density. Old world density, new earth light. So in the old belief system and way of doing things, money has always been first. Money, 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 always money. Money is the path to all things. Money is the focus of life. I mean, pre-language, you're learning this before you even speak a word in this culture. I should reference that because I am talking about our westernized culture. This is wildly different in indigenous lands and peoples when untouched by the brutal effects of a westernized culture. Okay, the new earth is all about health first, alignment first, flow, wholeness, unwavering love. And this is where I say, decide to drop anyone that is contributing to your unwholeness, to judgments and feeling less than and dimming your light or keeping you in limitation and low frequency. You can always come back. If they are meant to stay, they will be there in new strength and power, as will you. We are infinite beings. We are not finite. We get to change and evolve and grow and build and come back in strength and power. That is such a beautiful piece of humanity. So remember, when you're keeping someone in who they were in the past, you're holding them in limitation. You're holding them in resistance and blockages. But when you hold a beautiful place of light for their evolution and growth and your ability to meet in a new frequency, that is the innate healing that we came here to unleash on this planet. Keep it in mind. All I'm saying. So this is where I'm going with security and resources. Feel into that. When your resources come from your place of alignment and inspired action, your whole life elevates. You're in flow, adaptability, curiosity. You're in creation, energy. You're in your imagination. You're in abundance and benevolence. And that is where you do magnetize the life that you were meant to come here and live. You magnetize the people, the relationships, the experiences that continue to draw you into higher levels of consciousness through reflection, wisdom, mirroring, and growth, and unwavering love and belief in yourself when you place yourself in an environment that feels exactly the same. That right there is the fuel to how we birth well. That's for another day, however. But I hope that I have woven a beautiful thread for us to come to this moment, this epiphany and enlightenment. So come on this journey with me, okay? Money is a construct. We did not come in with money. What we came in with is alignment. We came in with our tools for this life. Right? So when we're up in the heavens, in the higher dimensions, and we make this choice for this journey, for this human iteration, for this human body, for this vehicle, right, to play out on earth in, we came in with a tool to make that go well. And our culture has absolutely thrown us, forced us the other way because we are absorptive, we are energy, we are frequency. And when the culture went knee deep in money, systems, and greed, it became not only the dominant narrative, but it also produced states of competition, comparison, failure. And as this cycle moved forward in creating scarcity and sensationalism in order to sell you something, because if you're unhappy, I can get you to buy my thing that's going to create that happiness for you, right? Just feel into that. Like, messed up. And that is how we have been sold to for centuries. That's the message, the energy, and the frequency that we have been absorbing through our sensory navigation system, not just our minds, through every ounce of our being, continually, through our cells, through our lineages, through our experiences. And we've been severed from the tool, the truth, and the strength that we came in with to make this life go well. Because y'all, when we are continuing to sacrifice ourselves, our health, our innate truth, knowledge, sovereignty, and wisdom in this life for money, number one, for family, for friends, for jobs, for locations, for experiences, we continue to fill our field and our vortex in those lower vibrations, those negative emotions, and that exhaustion. Our alignment has been unplugged and left to rust. Now, I know many of you are in the USA like myself, and we're at midterm elections right now. So I'm going to share a little story about this right now that hopefully activates that truth meter in your cells as well. When it was that we broke into a two-party system, to a divisiveness, a polarization, and us versus them, a competition, we literally created a permanent state of imbalance. When you subscribe and believe in that system, you will never be in full alignment because you're believing in something that is not fully aligned with you because you're picking one over the other. I can promise you that there's no side that completely inspires you and moves you into the deepest places of love and centeredness and sovereignty. That's not how the system works. And also, as you can tell right now, the energy is ripe. The frequency is there, and we are absorbing what is being emanated. The money fear. Ooh, that is how they hook us time and time again. Politics is focused on money. They play with you through money, through your fear, and through scarcity. The tearing down, the accusations, the ruthlessness. I mean, if you really zoom out and feel the vibration of what happens when we go into these dark human spaces that get activated to win, it's absolutely heartbreaking to know how powerful we are as humans and what we can do when we are in our creation energy, when we're in the highest vibrations and frequencies in our environment, when we are living from positivity and love, when we are deeply emanating love for ourselves. I know it's hard to even feel it, isn't it? Because we have been a product of the dominant energy and narrative for lifetimes. When we realize how deeply we absorb all day long, all night long, through these entire human lives, the energies that are around us, we will finally come to a deep place of enlightenment and epiphany. I know it because I'm there. Now, this episode in no way has any answers for how the new earth is going to be rebuilding these systems. I mean, I have good ideas, but I do know the more that we all come into this power and this innate truth and knowingness, into this transcendence of the matrix where we see it from the higher vantage point, where we can see it from unity consciousness and a love frequency, I know that that will then be emanated into the collective in a new way, and other people will tap in easier. They will tap in ways that they would never have because they haven't sought out the spiritual journey or the soul's path or the alignment superpower because it's never even come into their consciousness. So just feel into that a little bit. We can never achieve the divine miracles that we all have the potential and ability to produce when we are giving our belief, our energy, and our attention to these systems. These are the new resources. So until this conversation, when you hear about resources, is your first thought money? It was for me. And then I started feeling into how I am hemorrhaging money right now because of my new property and land in my new home, while the dominant narrative out there is to batten down the hatches, tighten up the purses and the wallets because the economy is collapsing. There's no change in the money that's here. There's still tons of money circulating around. And when you're in scarcity, the economy is going to collapse all around you. But when our full belief system is in the unbelievable potentials and possibilities that come out of states of alignment, which produce states of unwavering self-love, which create lives of ease and joy and developments and strength in our psychic connections and our guidance and co-creative energies with Source, Universe, God, money comes in new ways. Money is a piece of the abundance that comes from your state of health, wholeness, flow, adaptability, and resiliency, from your state of creation energy and root transformation. So really, long story short, I guess short story long, what did we come in with? Because we came in with all that we need prior to the constructs that were created by this culture. Not meaning that we can live without those constructs, but meaning that we came in with the power to magnetize those constructs when we make our mastery in alignment the most important job we have ever done in this human unfolding. Booyah! So that's my eclipse story. I hope you've enjoyed it. Seriously though, let me know. Is that resonating for you? Are you feeling the depth of enlightenment and epiphany? Because y'all, as we make these deep root changes in our full belief systems, energy, and attention, it gets stronger in the collective, and the narrative and systems shift from the frequency that more and more people begin to tap into on the reg. These are the results that we are creating and emanating in all of my containers. So if you're ready to live your birthright of joy and ease, majesty, to be creating miracles and magnetizing your life from a place of truth and knowledge of this matrix, come hang with me. Let's do this. Okay. So I guess maybe that episode was kind of intense, just like the eclipses. And yes, we welcome it. Y'all, the more intense, the faster people have their Sowin or eclipse moment, and the quicker we evolve and change and live in states of harmony and alignment and our superpowers. Okay, until next time, don't forget to keep looking up.